Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of OneMicNite Talk, the podcast that brings you real topics of conversation, hopefully to inspire your life and your journey. My name is Marcos Luis. We want to thank you for all joining us for this episode. I'm here with my two co-hosts, the incredible screenwriter and actor Ashley Elizabeth Green over there. And of course, down below, we have the singer, songwriter, talented Liz Menezes. We hope you guys have enjoyed our episode so far. Please make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe, click the bell, because we got a lot of topics to talk about, and I know you want to hear. So what's up, guys? How you doing?
Hello.
Hola, hola.
Happy day.
Oh,
What's been going on with you guys?
Well, like I was saying, I think I was speaking earlier. I was saying that I don't know about y'all. I'm enjoying the weather.
Yeah, me too.
It's getting nice
For me,
Right.
It's too hot for me.
already. It's too
hot.
hot.
Too hot.
We had one or two really, really hot days, but everything else has been kind of like right in the zone.
Yeah, it's been nice. I feel like it's been like a nice dry heat.
Mhm.
So I've been
Uh-oh.
shopping.
Oh, shopping. I thought you were going to say rooftop.
No,
we know she
yeah.
already rooftops. She already
Rooftop
rooftops.
is not this weekend, but next weekend.
Next
Rooftop
weekend?
is next
Okay.
weekend. Yeah, rooftop hopping. But I bought you know how you make a budget for I won't go over 200. I have spent. No, let me say this. I have not done a lot of fast clothes. You know, the cheap shit. But
it's not worth it, no? To buy cheap clothes?
I mean, I feel like it's worth it if it's little t-shirts here and there. But I feel like your wardrobe can't. It shouldn't be of everything that's just so cheap. Because what happens is you end up buying the same stuff over and over and over again. So what I try to do is if I buy a dress shirt, I buy something a little bit much high quality. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
But I try if it's
shopping?
t-shirts, I try to buy maybe something from H&M. Zara's pretty good. I've been doing I know for me, for purses, I've been going up a little bit in brands, but I just don't think everything should be Forever 21.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely gotta have a mix of stuff. I do the same
What
thing.
were you looking at though?
Mhm.
Because that look in your face and you said I was doing some shopping. What were you looking at?
So I've been looking at, I just ordered, I love Ted Baker. So I just ordered the wallets.
Mhm.
I'm not sponsored by these people, so I just want y'all to know. But I need to be because they got all my monies. But yeah, I did that, and something crazy happened where I was looking at watches because I'm becoming back. I always had an obsession. I don't know if y'all like watches. Does anybody?
I'm not
like
a watch wearer.
I'm not either. I have one signature, expensive watch, but that's it.
I've never
I
been.
want to be like that. I
Yeah.
want to be but I like watches, but I'm starting to notice I said, I don't want watches that are just cheap. I want ones that are really nice.
Yeah.
So my eyes are a little bit really big into luxury. So I was looking at this Hermes watch, right?
Mhm.
The one that Kid Cobb with the long straps. It's
Mhm.
really, really nice.
Mhm.
And so all of a sudden I noticed when I was looking at it, I got an email stating, "Thank you for your purchase." This watch was $1,500.
What?
Did you hit buy?
I didn't hit anything.
Are you sure,
I'm very sure. And so
Ashley?
Wow.
I called my bank immediately and was like, "Hey, I don't know what that is, but the devil is a liar."
I don't know what that is.
Wow.
That's what
But
I
wait
did.
a
The
minute,
lady was just
you
laughing. So they blocked it and everything. Everything worked out, but I was like, okay, we're gonna take a break from shopping because
No, you're
now
not.
I'm thinking,
You're not.
well, yeah, this is it for me. The only thing I'm going to buy is when I get ready for my trip.
When and
Uh-oh,
where?
here we go. What trip is this now?
When
You're
and
a
where?
traveler.
And is it by yourself?
This is to Greece. And this is to Greece. So that's not till August. So I told myself the only thing I need to buy is 5 swimsuits, and that's it.
Oh, just 5 swimsuits, which will equate into 10 outfits, which will equate into
no.
Well, yeah. Let me ask you: Are you big on that? Do you buy a lot of stuff for traveling? Because I know I do buy new things for traveling.
I mean, like, because I have swimsuits that I wear to Mexico and stuff like that, but it's just like, okay, I'm gonna bring some of those with me because I'm there for 9 days.
Right.
But I also feel like I like wearing new things on a trip.
Yeah, me too.
I just like that. You know, maybe it's just it's us being bougie, but I like that.
No, because I think you want to represent yourself in a certain way when you go places. So you do like, and then it goes back to what you just said. I buy a couple of cheap T-shirts, but at least they're new, they're fresh. And then I'll buy a nice shirt. First of all, guys, you always got to have, guys, listen to me. I'm talking to you guys. You always got to have a nice, crisp, white shirt.
You do.
Whatever you do. And I don't mean like, if you go somewhere, make sure it's new. It's new. It's got to be new. That's
not only
the
that,
classiest, nicest looking thing you can have as a guy.
That's true.
Wear with jeans, you can wear with anything.
On a trip, you got to bring at least one dress. You do got to bring one dress, even if it's like like not even like a summer dress or anything, but you at least got to bring one dress.
Yep.
Yeah.
But listen, the most, I mean, I think it's the most important and essential, right?
What's
to
that?
get like new underwear.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, because I have a thing where how many days I'm gone, I always bring 2 per day. So that's how I multiply like my underwear span. I'd be like, okay, 2 per day. And that excludes like me going on a trip. Like the day I'm flying out, sorry, the day I'm flying out, it excludes it. It starts like 2, 4, 6, you know what I mean? Like that.
But why Greece? What made you pick Greece?
I've been wanting to go to Greece for, it's been really on my mind the past 4 years.
Okay.
And I never like try to make the wave to go. And then I was going to go 2020. I was actually going to go. Okay. And, you know, March happened, 13th, Doomsday, you know.
Right.
The name, what we calling it? The thing that shall not be named. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That happened.
That thing.
And so during the pandemic, I was always looking at hotels and flights, you know, things like that. And I know something told me was like, won't you look at the most expensive hotels and see what deals they got going on? So what I did was I looked at this hotel in Greece, which is in Crete. And the hotel that I got, the room that I got, is a villa. So it's like a 2-bedroom, 2-pool private villa. Wow. And normally it costs like $11,000. And I got it for like 2. So.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
Wow.
I see now. My brain's clicking now. Wow.
Well.
Yeah.
Right.
I see we're going to be getting some stories.
Exactly.
Oh, we're going to be like, I can't wait for us to do, you know, our podcast.
The episode from there? Okay. All right.
That'd be great.
That would be great.
Cool. Yeah. Like, it's actually Elizabeth.
You mean like the chicken maker? What's her name? That was making the chicken.
I'm definitely gonna be like, hey guys, so, you know,
exactly.
Great, you know, hey, how are you? I'm telling you, she's wonderful. I love it.
Just like that, you come in like Paula Patton. We're good.
I love it. She was just like, I'm in Mexico. Hey guys, how are you?
Hey guys.
I saw that, and I love that she said, I saw that you saw my video, and people told me when I was in Mexico. Like, I just love that she kept saying, I'm in Mexico. Like, letting y'all know, you basic bitches, you're still home. Yeah.
Listen,
so what's new with you guys?
Not to veer away from what we're talking about, but you know,
yes.
I was looking at my little cellular apparatus, and I have, you know, something that came to my mind. I don't know why. Like I was just thinking about social media and you know, how do we present ourselves in social media and social, you hear me say this, I can't even speak, social media, because this is the thing, guys, not everybody's going to relate to our story. And depending on how we present ourselves through social media, because nowadays it's not even in person anymore, it's social media, how we present ourselves might not resonate to someone, or some people might say, you know, like have a negative reaction. Like, what do you guys think about that? How do you guys present yourself on social media? Do you care? Do you even care?
I think it's no matter what
we
you
have
do.
a responsibility, don't you think?
You do and you don't. I mean, I think it depends on what you're using it for. I mean, social media is used for different things. Some people use it for business. Some people use it for just connecting with other people, telling their life stories. They use it for a blog. So you have to determine what you want to use your social media for. I use Facebook for one thing in my personal account. I use Instagram for another thing. You know, I use.
Oh, very smart. I like that.
You know what I mean? So they're two different things. Like Instagram is more of a business for me. It's more of a brand for me. I use Facebook more as a blog and a connection for the community so people can see what I'm doing. And I actually post different things on different social medias. I don't post the same thing on both social medias.
I mean, but
do
you think like when people say, well, because we're like a social presence, because we're
public figures?
A public figure, thank you. A public figure, we have a responsibility to convey certain messages a certain way to the public.
I don't think so. Ashley, what do you think?
No?
I have more to say, but what do you think?
I was going to, it made me think of, I was watching another podcast and they were talking about even regular normal people are starting to get into branding themselves on social media.
Yeah.
And so that just makes me think of like, even if you're not doing something like this on this type of platform, but it makes me think of like just regular people, teachers, firefighters, anybody in like, well, I mean regular guys, because I don't want to be like, I want to be a little bit politically correct. I mean by like people who are not in the entertainment industry, that they're even branding themselves of like how they present themselves. So I just think like at the end of the day, I think everybody on social media has I think everybody should be responsible, I would say, just because like, I don't know who goes to your site or who goes to your page and things like that, but I also think we all can be careful on, and I mean responsible as in like, if I don't like something on your page, I don't have to DM you something rude, or I don't have to something rude. So I think there can be a little bit more etiquette on our part and more like responsibility, like what we put on. Because I think sometimes we get a little bit too crazy, especially in summer, where like, even if we're on vacations, right? Like, I don't have to be like in my swimsuit and it's a thong swimsuit and I'm like showing my butt. I don't know,
but should you care if that's who you are? What is your responsibility? Who are you being? Responsibility
in it, because it's like, what? Okay, so I'm about to take a little bit like to a different side.
Yeah, go.
Because then I start wondering, what's the difference between that and soft porn?
What is the difference? Like, what is the difference? What is the difference?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know, because and I guess what I'm saying is because some people pages it's starting to look like an OnlyFans.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm not judging like it's bad, because there's no such thing as good and bad on people's page. If you got it, flaunt it. If you're doing it.
So then the question becomes: should the social media allow that? Because what are the boundaries of the social media platforms that are allowing that? If you're going to have something that you consider soft porn, should they allow that? If it's acceptable, why not post it? If that's who you authentically are, posting images of yourself because that's who you are. But people who agree with that will come to your page. They become your followers.
Don't you think there's a fine line though? Isn't there a fine line? Because children are children and they will get access.
Why is a child on my page? Why is a child on my page?
Yeah,
if they do come to the page, get off.
Yeah, I would say that
posting
I'm not really about like, when I'm thinking about this, I'm not even thinking about children, and maybe that's just me. But I'm just thinking about like adults. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking about like adults, like, women being harassed or vice versa, whatever. But I feel like
that's another thing.
That is another thing.
But I feel like with the children, it's like, I will say this, like my page someone could be like, oh, Ash, you're in the bathtub. That's just like, what is that about? You know what I mean? Or I'm in the shower saying something. That could be like, oh, that's soft porn, whatever. But I feel like with children, it's like, I'm not here to parent anybody. So it's like, I think at the end of the day, like that's that's the home.
Right.
You know,
that's the parents' responsibility.
But see, something that Ashley, you said.
Yeah.
Are we calling this upon ourselves? I'm not talking about me, you, and Marcos, but I'm saying people that do this, are they calling this upon themselves? Are they secretly seeking this attention? If they're doing, as you say, posing in a thong, gyrating in front of the camera, whatever it is that you're doing, are you calling it because you need the attention?
I think everything is about intentional purposes. So I think some people do it because that is their personality. That's how they move in life.
That's my point.
It's like what you see on their page is exactly how they are in life.
How they are.
That's my point. That's my point.
What it is. So yeah. Right.
And then it goes back to the conversation that Liz, you and I had. Sometimes there are pages that we have of friends who post those things, and we decide not to go to those pages because we feel uncomfortable. I don't want to see certain of my friends, in a half shirt.
Yeah, I don't want to know that much about you.
Yeah.
Right. So then it becomes our responsibility to not to go to their page.
But something else that you're hitting on though. You know how they say, social media causes people to have a negative self-reflection, like, oh, I don't look like that. I want to look like that, but I can't. But, and some people either, commit suicide. I don't want to say the word suicide, but do that or go into depression because they're viewing this constantly. Is it not our responsibility to consciously say, I'm not going to look at stuff like that because every time I look at stuff like that, I'm going to feel this way.
Right. Yes.
Oh, definitely. Because you have to be responsible over your own life. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I know 3 of my friends, they're not on any social medias anymore. Like, they're like, I'm done with it. They're like, I'm done with it. I don't want to do it anymore. And I think one of the main reasons was not because of what you said, but because like they just found it so taxing that subconsciously they felt like they had to always upload something to say that they were living a life.
Right.
Like, so
I agree. I'm sorry, I agree with you too. And that's where when you have, say, a brand, or you're a brand, or you have a company that's a brand, that's where you only post. And you don't have to look around on the sites. You just post things about your brand. You post things, just put a picture on you about you and what you're doing, what you're up to, and be gone. You don't have to search anybody else. You don't have to look at anything else. So if people want to know about you, they go to your page, they see this is what it is, and that's it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be active.
Why do you think the human condition is so curious to know everything that's happening every single second of the day? You wake up, you're looking, you're eating dinner, you're looking, why do you think that is?
You're bored with your own life. You're just bored with your own life. That's all that is. You're nosy and you're bored. There's nothing exciting in your life.
I think that goes back to, even when TV started. You're getting a glimpse into someone's life. Whether it's a comedy, whether it's,
that's true.
Look at the Honeymooners or I Love Lucy and all those things. You're getting a glimpse into someone's life where it's comical or it's a reality
it's
TV
not
show.
It's not what you're living.
Maybe
because some people's lives are miserable, like you say, Ashley, miserable, and they're looking for some kind of joy, and so they see it.
Because there's some people, like there's an influencer, I love her, Hannah Brockman, and her husband, Brendan Foster. Okay. And I love them because they're like really popular influencers, and I love like seeing their journey, how they going. Like they've been like both single, they got together, they got engaged, then they have a kid. You know what I mean? This takes us back into a loop of what exactly we're talking about. You're talking about influencers, so we're getting a glimpse of these lives. Do you think these people really live like that?
Exactly.
Or are they doing it for the show? They doing it for the show of what it is.
Well, yeah, but that's why I like watching them, because they really show like real life. You know what I mean? Like they don't show like we're in a yacht, we're in this, like they're like. And I love how honest they are. They'll be like, this is sponsored and this is paid for. Like, you know what I mean? Like if they're in, they always like, because I love his videos, they're always saying what's paid for and what's sponsored. or if they're going on a flight, it's not because they're paying for the flight. It's because they've been flown in. You know what I mean? And so there's certain influencers like that I really love, like Picky Girl Travels. Love her. You know what I mean? She talks about money and finances. It's just a lot of people that I like that are really authentic about their journey and what they offer and what's their intentions with the audience that they're trying to gain too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I do agree to a certain extent, but also stepping outside of that, it's all in the name of business underneath it.
Yeah, definitely.
So you're when you're putting on the best of, or you're putting on something to create a show. So that
I agree with you.
Right.
But I think that's also about like us being adults and knowing like what's reality and what's like illusion. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, because if let's just say social media started like tampering off, these people ain't making no more money. So it's like at the end of the day, like you have to have, like you were talking about before, you have to have a diversified portfolio. You can be on Instagram, TikTok making money, but with that money, you got to be doing something in real life with real estate or with something, product deals or something, or business courses or something to make money just in case the social media thing becomes just a fad and that is it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I would almost say that, you know, social media it's like the new TV. It's the new, you know, it's the new way to watch and make money. And, you know, people put up things that are entertaining, or people put up things that, you know, grab the crowd, and that's how you become the influencer, is because people are buying in. They want to see what you're doing, you know, whether you're a badass rapper or whether you're, you know, this couple you're talking about.
Yeah.
Look at TikTok. People do everything and anything. Everything and anything. You know, and it's like a window into everybody's apartment or house or whatever the heck. But it's like you're sitting next to them because they're living life in front of everyone. Oh my God, that's so spooky. I remember seeing a movie one time. Now that I say that it was, I don't know if it was the Twilight Zone or something like that, but it was like everyone was looking into each other's lives. There was no privacy. Like everybody like knew, like I knew what you were doing, you knew what I was doing. It's like there was no wall.
Are you okay with that? Are you okay with that?
No.
But there's also upsides to this too. Because think about it. It's taking away the gatekeepers a little bit and the middlemen.
Yes.
Just think about for actors and everything.
Absolutely.
I can just start producing things and it can get me like somebody saw it. And you know what I mean? So I feel like it's sometimes a great thing too at the same time. Like it's like pros and cons with anything. Right. You know what I mean?
True.
And it's all about your
Think about it. Gone are the days of us needing to have, like, I'm just generalizing, a record label, graphic artist, I don't know, a content creator, not a content creator, a person who designs websites or anything like that. Because now it's so accessible. Everything is so accessible. And if you say, I don't know how to do it, you could just go to YouTube. You could just, read online. Everything is so accessible and self-teaching that you're right, Ashley. It's like we're eliminating the middle.
Yeah. And I think it's a wonderful thing because I know that now I'm shopping with 2 Black women-owned businesses. And I don't think I would know them if they didn't have Instagram. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I love their clothes. You know what I mean? So it's helping women. It's Black women and it's Black owned. It's like, it's wonderful.
Saw that and I love the clothes. I meant to ask you because I saw one that you posted and I was like, oh my God, that's me. I love it. She's excellent.
She is wonderful. Wonderful. I'm going to get Marcos to put a link so y'all can look good on this. But she's amazing. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it is also, like I said, it's pros and it's cons to everything. But all of us are responsible for our own lives, I believe. So it's just like, if it's too much for you, just get away from social media.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just go away for a summer. Be like.
So would you then say everybody has a right to do whatever they want on social?
I mean, well, you can't do that just because there's rules on Instagram. So, like, I think you can't do that. But I feel like you said, Marcos, if you don't like something, just get off someone's page or don't check it.
Get off the page.
Yeah, don't check it.
Yeah, and I agree. There has to be some sort of boundaries and limitations on social media. I mean, we definitely don't want hate on there. You hope that there's not false information, but of course there's going to be. Things like that. It's not necessarily. It doesn't have to be used to educate people. It doesn't have to be used to do any of that stuff. It's social. It's just it's a platform for people to say things.
Right.
Wait a minute. Something happened over the weekend, Marcos. I believe that you were on stage.
I was.
How did that go?
That was great. Yeah. We remounted 20th anniversary, written by Marcus Harmon, brilliant playwright.
Nice.
And it was at the Downtown Urban Festival for theater.
Nice.
And it was on Theater Row on 42nd Street, which is a beautiful theater.
It really is.
Huge, yeah. It was like 100 seats.
That's a nice area. It's like, artistic.
Right down by Chez Josephine's in New York City, for those of you who don't know. Yeah. And I'm happy we sold out. We had a full house.
Amazing.
It was a really amazing time. Yeah. And
so proud of you. So proud of you.
It's been a journey.
I'm praying that y'all get picked up like by a really great theater, like Signature Theater would be amazing.
Well, I mean, I have to say, most of the credit goes to the playwright. He's brilliant. He just keeps pumping them out, and they're prolific.
He is definitely amazing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all need to be. Yeah, it would be.
So see, what needs to happen is, Ashley, you need to write that play, and then you have to get Marcos to act in it.
That's right.
Right.
Here's the other thing. The other thing, Ashley and I kind of were talking about this before we started the show. Is once you do that, as an actor, until you made it in the big, big, and even the big actors do it too. You go up on a show, and then the day after it's like you have a low, because everything's building up to your show and your performances, and once it's over, it's just like, oh man,
I want that high again.
Yeah, I want
to be on stage.
It's a very good high, because I feel like that when I finish a script, you put all this work in, and then when you finish writing it, you're like, you feel like you're like a loss has happened, kind of. You're like,
yes.
There's a catharsis, but then there's a lot. There's like
it's like the build-up, right? The build-up.
I'm happy I got finished, but you're like, man, I feel tired, or like you said, like that high, like. And then like we said, you're back to life.
Yes, it's true. Because look, when I've done shows, there's like, and I know this happens for both of you and what you're talking about, it's like you're starting the journey. So for me, I gotta pick the songs. Mm-hmm. I gotta rehearse the songs. Right. I gotta rehearse with the band. I gotta know what I'm gonna wear. I gotta know how much they're gonna charge for the show, how many people are coming. You're gonna promote it. You're building up all this, constant every day, and boom, you do the show. The show was great. Like you, Marcos, yours was sold out. You walk out of there, you're back home.
Yeah, exactly.
Wah.
Exactly.
Now what?
Did y'all party after? Did y'all like do a get together after? Or y'all
this theater had a great. It was a great facility. So there was a bar right in the theater, like a beautiful lounge and bar. So everybody just walked out of the theater right across the hallway. Beautiful bar. Everybody had, conversation, drinks, whatever. And then, people broke off after that. But the other question I want to ask you guys too is, after a performance, how do you feel when, say, like you don't have a full house or people don't show up to your performances?
Well, you see, the expectation for any artist in whatever capacity that is that you'll have a full house, like you experienced, Marcos. Right. But then again, you've been to one of my shows, Marcos, where it was only 4 people. Mm-hmm. And I gave the same manager, maybe even more, when there has been a bigger crowd. Because this is the thing, you have to realize that you're doing it for the art and the passion that you have for that art. And if you touch one person or two as opposed to a whole crowd, you're still touching someone, and someone's walking away with an impression of you that later on they could word of mouth it.
Right.
And that'll attract more people, will keep people coming.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely
So
right. And here's the thing too, Liz, is that show you're talking about in particular, some good things came out of it because I made 2 good friends from that show that I'm still friends with. I didn't even know before. Yeah.
You see what I mean? So it's like, and you remember it, Marcos, it was at a time where and particularly that was the week where I had gone through something personally very, traumatic. And that band I had just put together that day.
Wow.
And we had just rehearsed together that day. So they knew nothing about my music.
And you sounded great. And not only that, but the confirmation came because there were 2 people who weren't with us who were sitting back there and they were like, wow. They were so happy.
Yeah.
They loved your music so much.
And there was some Navy guy that
that's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. Remember? It was,
yeah.
Good. It's like, thank you.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that what made it even more impactful for me is that because I was like, this is the first time that I was taking charge of every angle of a performance, everything, musical director, the picking songs, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
I was the head of it. And I said, I don't care if nobody shows up, but damn it, I did this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that ever happen to you, Ashley? Have you ever had a performance or something, or you've invited people to something and then maybe on a handful show up?
Like when I used to do like a lot of theater, where it was like, we didn't think a lot of people were gonna come, and then a lot of people come. And I think that's where I got a little bit like, people have come. I think what I find with it makes me realize either how bad I want it, or it's not what I wanted.
Good point.
It's not what I wanted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
And it's very humbling for me. And one of the reasons why I say that is because I started noticing with acting in short films, I started noticing that like, I didn't want to be the actor. I really wanted to be the director. Like I would be starting to see things that like another director who wasn't that good. And I would be like, well, why don't you say this and that? And I just started noticing, I'm like, oh girl, you sound like you need to pivot. You know what I mean? Like you need to pivot a little way, because it's like they got you as a lead, but you trying to be over here. So it made me started opening up my mind of like what position I really would like to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think for me, like when things like that, it makes me like open my eyes. But getting back to like, if it's a full house, I think when it happens for me, it makes me feel like the universe is definitely conspiring for me and I'm right where I need to be. Like all that other stuff that ever happened, it's just like, I'm right where I need to be, and let's have some fun.
Right.
Right. It comes to a point where you're like, you know what? This is it. I'm having a blast with it. I'm going to live this experience.
And it makes you realize through the sacrifices, working the jobs that we don't even have to work. We could like be lawyers. We could, you know what I mean? Like, I think some people forget that like artists don't have to be artists. Like us to choose this life. Like, cause I know for me, I told somebody, if I was going back to what I really wanted to do, like what, like the role and the journey that my parents had me on, like they knew I was going to be a lawyer. They were like, you're going to be a lawyer. You're great at it. Da, 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 da. You know what I mean? Like, like they just saw my personality, like, you need to be a lawyer. And I really believe them, but there is a side of me that feels so at peace and it's so easy to be in the arts. You know what I mean? But I just feel like at the end of the day, when those things happen, like you, Marcos, right? It kind of like solidifies that like, this is exactly where you need to be. Right. It doesn't matter what the struggle is, like, this is exactly where you need to be. You know what I mean? And I think for me, my opening eyes was when I was in college and I was like, I don't want to go to law school. I can't see myself being happy. And so when you feel like, I feel like you know where you need to be is when you're struggling. And then when you get to that point of like, you get the audition, you get the role, you're like, this is exactly where I need to be. Mm-hmm. Like, even though I'm struggling, whatever, it's like, I'd rather struggle and do what makes me happy. And this is exactly where I need to be.
Right. Your spirit tells you, your spirit confirms and it tells you.
It really does confirm. You know? It really does.
I think one thing that opened my eyes, you know, throughout this whole thing too, is no matter, I mean, I feel like I have a lot of performances. I do a lot of things. And I can't expect everybody to come to everything that I do. You could basically, right now, you can just click a button and see what I do. But, you know, in terms of a live performance, I also have to keep in mind that I have to also go out and support other people. I have to make time, you know what I mean?
That's a good one.
You really have to make time, and you can't expect everybody to come see you and you're not going to support them.
Yeah.
That's
right.
That's a big one. That's a big
huge,
one.
Right?
I think that's a really big one.
one.
I'm so happy you said it because I just know, especially among actors, there's certain cliques that only support certain people. And I just feel like you got to support other people. And that's you really do. And you don't have to, and I think sometimes you don't have to support things just to make contacts.
Right.
Like, support it because it's a great play.
Yeah.
Support it because it's somebody's first play they
First
written.
Play. Yeah.
And it's taken off. Support it because it's just the art. You know what I mean? Just support it. You know what I mean? Just support art. Like, support something. Like,
support it.
I
mean, let me tell you.
Different. You know what I mean? Don't go to a restaurant. Do something different. Go to a play on a Sunday.
Right.
Do something different with your time.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Look, I'll tell you this much. When Marcos, when you showed up and the other two girls showed up, that you guys became friends, that was so meaningful to me, because I said to myself, oh my God, they're cheering like this is like a freaking Justin Bieber concert.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, like, you know, singing with me, taking pictures, you know. So it was so, you know, important to me. And I'm like, oh my God, what I do, what I love to do, what really matters to me, it matters to other people. It matters
to other people. Yeah.
And I'm touching their lives with what I am doing. You know what I mean? Right. And I love it. You know, on top of that, I love it. And on top of that, it represents me. And I'm sure that you felt that way too, Marcos, this week. And when you went, I wish I would have been able to go, but I'm still sick, actually.
Oh,
but,
no.
Yeah, I'm still going. Better, but not there yet. But see, that was confirmation, I'm sure, for you, Marcos. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's Ashley, you know, all of us wear so many hats, and people think that being in the arts is a simple thing. It's not. It might be even harder than some other professions that are looked at as, you know, wow, amazing, or that earn a lot of money. It's probably even harder. It's
harder. I'm going to tell you, I just had somebody told me last week. He's a pretty big producer at CBS, and he was telling me about a show that he has coming on, and he wanted me to watch. And I said, yeah, you know, I really thank you so much for all that you tell me. He said, you're like a mentor to me. He said, listen, I have more respect for you for what you do, because you're doing it on an independent level. I could never do what you're doing. You know, I have a big company behind me to get all this.
That's real talk, though.
Exactly. Yep. And it took me by surprise. I was like, wow, man, you're right. A lot of independent artists do that. We have to, like Liz just said, you have to think about your song list. You have to think about your band. Your band's gone in a minute. You have to get a new band.
You gotta get
a new one. Take care of the venue.
Right.
You have to take care of the, you know, the people coming, the promotion, all these things that you have to do to make it successful.
You gotta pay people.
Right.
Yeah. You know. So we wear many hats. Is basically
we really do.
Right.
You know, and we're passionate. Even this podcast that we do right now, it's an independent podcast.
Exactly.
And we're doing it because we want to bring valuable content to all of you, and we hope that everyone enjoys it. You know what I mean?
I love that.
And I think we want to end it with that, because Liz said it so beautifully. You know what I mean? And we hope that you guys will go to anchor.fm/OneMicNite Talk. You can support us in that way if you like. And please keep up with us. Make sure you check out Ashley Elizabeth Green and her screenwriting, and of course her travels, but everything she's doing. Liz Menezes, her music, please follow her. Listen to her music on Spotify or any digital platform and support her. Put it on your playlist. I have two on mine. I said that. And follow me at Marcos Luis, and you can follow the show at OneMicNite Talk on all digital platforms. Yep. And also make sure you take a look at OneMicNite Podcast with Marcos Luis. There are more episodes coming up with that. And we will have more guests on this show, OneMicNite Talk.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for all joining us. We appreciate you. We thank you. Join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the live chat. And yeah, we're gonna be going live. We keep saying that, but we are definitely going live soon.
We are. It's gonna be a different experience. So keep with us. I'm telling you. And Ashley, Greece, huh?
That's it. Thank you guys for all joining us for One Mic Night Talk. Use the hashtag One Mic Night Talk. Keep up to date with us. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Ciao, ciao.